music you love. But if the foreign-owned record labels get their way, it could stop the music. They want Congress to force radio stations to pay them more money simply to play their music. Don't let radio go silent. Text LOCAL to 52886 and tell Congress to protect local radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
It's spring. Time for a fresh start to put a spring back in your step. Taylorville Care Center wants to help you do just that. Whether you've been in the hospital or just need a little extra help to get back doing the things you used to do, Taylorville Care Center's therapy program helps you recover and return home. Private rooms for rehab to home are available to provide great medical care. Family and friends can visit to encourage your recovery. Find out more on Taylorville Care Center's great therapy program and put a spring back in your step. Call 824-9636. 824-9636. Caring for the community for over 50 years. Time to get back to doing those spring activities you used to do. Taylorville Care Center can put a spring back in your step with an extensive rehab program to get you back home. Find out more by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Hi, this is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. Find out about all the products and services we provide by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
And you're listening to and watching the WTIM Morning Show with our live video stream co-sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. And our guest in studio is Denise Evans, the co-coordinator for Safe Passage in Taylorville and Christian County. Denise, thank you so much for making the time to visit with us, both on the air and on our video streams today. And as we talked off air, give me the 30 to 60 second elevator speech, as it were, about Safe Passage for anyone that may not know exactly what it is.
Okay. Safe Passage is a program started here in Taylorville about 4 years ago. And there is a program to where any person having problems with substance abuse can walk into the Taylorville Police Department, ask for Safe Passage, and we will greet them and help them with their substance abuse problem and get them into rehab and counseling, follow up with them after, and get them onto a new start in life.
That was a wonderful 30 to 60 second elevator speech. You did an awesome job.
And one thing I would want to add, when they do come in and ask for Safe Passage, they are safe. The police officers are not going to come and arrest them.
That's probably the biggest feature.
That's the biggest thing, because a lot of people are afraid to walk into a police department.
Yeah. Especially if they've done drugs.
If they've been right.
Yeah, something like that. All right, let's talk about some specific items that I know you wanted to share with our listeners today. And one of those is the issue, and I never knew this before you brought it up with me off air, or the issue of furloughs. Okay, they're in jail, but they want to go to rehab. How do they get a furlough? Who grants a furlough? What is the process, and what is the ultimate outcome?
Okay. When you're arrested for substance abuse, alcohol, whatever, you should not, this has been a big misunderstanding lately, so I just kind of want to get it out there. When you're arrested, the next day or so, you go before the judge. Okay. You'll either have an attorney or have a public defender or something. If you are interested in going to rehab, mention it to them, or mention it to the judge when you get in front of him. He will grant the furlough. That's the only way it's going to happen, is for Judge Paisley will grant the furlough. After that, then the court reporter, or the clerk, whoever there, will send an email to the Christian County Jail. They, in turn, will email me and say, John Doe was in court this morning. He was granted a furlough. That's all it says. Then either myself or my associate that works with me, Debbie Prince, will make an appointment to go to the jail and speak to John Doe. At that time, we will go in there. They will get him out of his cell. We'll go into a private room and go through the same ordeal as we do if they would come into the office. Get a little bit of personal information about them, find out about their drug issues and everything, and then we will call facilities to find out if they have a bed for them. Then they will also speak to the inmate. Okay, if they are cleared and they have the facility says, okay, we have a bed available and you can come tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Then we tell the facility, okay, we have to get the paperwork completed and we will let you know. That's it. That is not, 100% done. Okay. So then after the inmate's finished with us, then we will go ahead and contact the judge and he will fill out the paperwork, get it all completed, and then it goes back to the county jail. Okay. We will then in turn get a driver, which now we have found out that the volunteer drivers can no longer drive the inmates to a facility. The only drivers are Debbie or myself or an officer, because it has to be a police department employee. Okay, so therefore, all of our volunteer drivers are no longer driving inmates, but they're busy enough driving the people that walk into our office. So what we just need to get across is when you go to jail and then the next day or so you go before the judge will either grant or deny the furlough. So therefore, we do not need the inmate getting on the phone in their cell, calling me or calling Debbie or the office saying, I'm in jail, I want to go to rehab, or having their family call us, which gets to be quite a bit, or the family calling the public defender or calling probation or calling state's attorney. That's not going to get them into rehab any quicker. The only thing is going before the judge.
It is a process.
Right.
And they
that
have to
has to go through
understand
the process.
It is a process.
It is a process.
Yeah.
It's step by step. It's not, just, okay, we'll come and see you.
Yeah. And you have to follow the process.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And this is the way it was always like this. And then some way it got turned around. Nobody knows how. So it was making more work for everyone. So Judge Paisley has stressed that this is the way it's going to be. And, that's it.
Well, and
it's starting to work out a lot better.
Good. And it probably should. Absolutely. And,
Right.
and everything has a process. And,
Right.
And no different in this
Right.
situation.
And then we have some people saying, well, I didn't know that inmates got to go to rehab. Well, everyone deserves a chance. This is a disease. Some people, when they are arrested, it's hard telling what maybe when they're arrested, what they might be on, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And some things causes a lot of problems. Alcohol can be deadly if you do not get the right detox. Maybe they've about overdosed and they get sick and everything. And so everyone needs help that's on it, and they need to go through the right process to get over this.
Mhm. Denise Evans is our guest co-coordinator of Safe Passage. More to come on the WTIM Morning Show.
WTIM.
Check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn, beans, and wheat all in the red. May corn 637.5, down 8. July corn down 6.5, 587.5, and December new crop 514.5, down 6 1/4. May beans 14.32 down 4.5. July beans down 6, 13.98. November new crop 12.42 down 8 3/4. May Chicago wheat 6.28 1/4 down 2 1/4. July wheat down 9 1/4, 6.32. May bean meal 4.20.10, that's up 2.20. May bean oil down 87 cents, 51.85. Livestock market at this hour. May feeders 205.22 down 15 cents. June live cattle down 57 cents, 162.42. May lean hog 76.87, up 30 cents. Energy market at this hour. June crude oil futures 71.12, down $1.44. Jim Taylor on the RFD Radio Network.
If you're like most people, finding extra money for your savings just doesn't happen. This is McKenna Duggar at People's Bank and Trust, and we have the solution you've been looking for. Sign up for our Save by Spending Roundup program, and we'll round up your purchases to the next dollar, then transfer that change to your savings account. It's as easy as shop, enjoy, and save. Start saving for the things you really want with our Save by Spending Roundup program. Call 888-PBT-1954 and let us put you and your savings first. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I'm Brandon Bible, your local country financial representative at 1305 West Presser in Taylorville. Stay tuned at the end of every tornado sports broadcast on WTIM's many platforms when the WTIM announcers select the WTIM Brandon Bible Country Financial Tornado Player of the Game from that particular game. The player will be spotlighted for their great play in the game and also be given a certificate honoring their accomplishment. My wife Sam and I are proud to be the exclusive sponsor of the WTIM Tornado Player of the Game this school year.
Hi there, I'm here to tell you a little about this new program called Safe to Help Illinois.
Maybe you know somebody who's being bullied, or worse, thinking about hurting themselves or others. If you don't feel safe telling an adult about the things that are happening around you, check out Safe to Help.
Safe to Help is not about snitching or getting someone in trouble. It's about helping one another out.
You can call, you can text.
You can download the free mobile app, and it's all over social media.
So what do you say? Let's give it a try.
Brought to you by IEMA.
Find out all the goods or services provided by DeMichael Floors and more. 1217 West Presser in Taylorville by clicking their icon on the obituaries page of TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Find out about available units at Taylorville's Valley View Mobile Home Park, 913 North Taylorville Boulevard by clicking the Valley View Mobile Home Park icon on the obits page of TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show with our live video stream, co-sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. With us in studio is Denise Evans, co-coordinator for Safe Passage. And Denise, in the short time that we have remaining here, let's talk about the importance of public outreach. You've been doing a lot more of that in the last year or so. I know you appeared at our Kiwanis Club on Tuesday. You appear on a regular basis here on the WTIM Morning Show. Is it working? I guess that's a basic question.
Yes, I think it is working.
Great.
As I said before, a lot of places that we go and speak, people say they've never heard of Safe Passage here in Taylorville. And that just shocks us because as much as we do the public outreach, we think everybody knows about it. But so we just have to keep promoting.
I think it's kind of like learning your multiplication tables, because I remember as a child, the first time I read them or recited them, it didn't take.
Right.
It took spaced repetition over and over and over again. And this isn't any different, especially when you're dealing with people's lives.
Right. Yes. Sometimes it doesn't take the first time. You know, sometimes they go to rehab and they do so good, and you talk to them, and maybe a month later they call me, or 2 months later, and say, I relapsed. I'm sorry. And they're always sorry. They're always like beating themselves up that they relapsed. And you know, I'm just like, that's okay. We'll start over. We'll do it over again. It's just like when you go to the doctor for a cold and they give you medicine. That medicine might not work. So what do? You have to go back and get something else. So it's just, you know, it's a disease. You have to keep working at it.
About 1 minute. But yeah, you have said that in all of your public outreach that it is a disease. Are people figuring out that it is a disease, whether it's drug addiction or alcohol?
If they're not, we're telling them because it
That's
is
called
a
public
disease,
outreach, yeah.
right? It is a disease. I mean, and we have to get that through people through to people because, and that's why I say it's just like when you go to the doctor. You might not get the first medicine the first time. Well, this is mental. This goes to your brain. The drugs affect your brain. So that's a little bit different and a little bit harder to take care of.
Yeah, very much so. Denise, thank you so much for all that you're doing for Safe Passage and for appearing with us this morning.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. That is Denise Evans, co-coordinator of Safe Passage in Taylorville. And this segment of the WTIM Morning Show, co-sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. Sit down.
WTIM.
We are coming up on 10 o'clock and news from SRN and following news.